Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It's Tuesday, September 13th. Yes, we're on a new day of the week. We'll be here every Tuesday moving forward. I'm Charlie Eisenhood, and let's talk about what happened this week. Well, we had the final stop of the Disc Golf Pro Tour regular season. It was at a Silver Series event in Pennsylvania, the Butler County Disc Golf Classic, formerly the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open. And it was the last chance for players to earn points towards the playoffs, which will begin this coming weekend at the Green Mountain Championships up in Vermont. More on that in a little bit. First, let's take a look back at what happened this weekend at Butler County. We will begin in FPO, and we'll pick it up in the final round where Kristen Tatar already had a commanding lead after winning the World Championships just a week ago in Emporia, Kansas. Jessica Weiss getting things started with a nice upshot on the first hole. She would go on to birdie, but she's 6 strokes back to Tatar, make it 7 after the good putt from Kristen on hole 7. Tatar on the 9th, long downhill par 3, catches the huge skip and all the way up to the basket. Fabulous shot, and the lone birdie of the week on hole number 9. Showing off the forehand control again on 12. She would go on to birdie there as well. Jessica Weiss may have had the shot of the tournament here on hole 18. She'd already locked up second place, but wow, what a shot off the tee. And she couldn't even believe it. Lisa Fakis finished on the podium, knocked home a big putt to close things out for her round. But this was another week all about Kristen Tatar, the world number 1, and the world champion who's getting ready to enter the Pro Tour playoffs after another win this year on tour. Kristen Tatar closed out the Butler County Disc Golf Classic with a 989 rating. That's the highest ever event rating at a Silver Series event for the champion in FPO. And she just did the same thing at Worlds, where she had the highest ever event rating. She's playing on another level right now, and she is the highest rated player in the world and the obvious consensus number 1. She'll head to GMC with a chance to continue a remarkable season where she has yet to miss the podium. That's your Statmando stat of the week. On to MPO. We'll also pick it up in the final round here. Chandler Kramer opening things up with a 3-stroke lead in this final round, but Matt Oram putting some early pressure from the chase card. He goes off the pin, taps in the birdie. Joel Freeman foreshadowing the kind of round he would have with this sneaky little thumber down the hill, dodges all the trees, tap in birdie for him. Matty O from distance got it. He was 6 under through the first 7 holes. And Chandler Kramer throwing all forehand, blasted up the hill on hole 7 after shooting the hot round and the course record 8 under in both of the first 2 rounds, showing off the forehand power. What a shot right there, up and over the trees. But Joel Freeman would take the lead on hole 10. That put him at 19 under. And then hole 11, he kept it going. That's another birdie. Goes to the forehand on 13. And that's on the green yet again. Joel Freeman was cooking hot at this point. He's already past that 8 under mark from the first 2 rounds. And look at this absolute blast. That last tree stopping it from being an eagle circle 1 putt. He would lay up and then birdie. Now he's up 7 shots going into hole 18. Here's his second shot. That's on the green. He's inside circle 1. He taps in the putt. He shoots an unbelievable 14 under. That was 8 shots better than anybody else on Sunday, and he beat the course record by 6 strokes. Remarkably, it's his first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour win on the Silver Series or the Elite Series. So Joel Freeman, after having a very strong season here in 2022, gets his first win. Joel's remarkable final round came in at 1077 rated, which has been a bit of a point of controversy. Jeremy Colling posting on Facebook that he believes it should have been rated as one of the best rounds of the year. Joel Freeman also talking about it on his Instagram. He also had some nice things to say about Chandler Kramer. He said, "In my eyes, the ongoing debate about who has the best forehand in the world is settled at this point. The sport has never before seen a forehand with the level of simultaneous power, consistency, and versatility that Chandler plays with." So high praise from the Butler County champ, and Joel Freeman hopes to take those skillful wood shots with him into GMC, the MVP Open, and the Pro Tour Championship at Nevin Park in Charlotte. Have you checked on your rating yet today? It is PVGA Ratings Update Day, and we have a new number one in MPO. Paul McBeth moves back into the top spot. He goes up a point to 1049. Ricky Wysocki dropping back to 1048. And Eagle McMahon, who has not played very much over the last couple of months, drops back down into the mid-1040s. Nobody rated in the 1050s at this point. McBeth now number one. And over in FPO, Kristen Tatar bumps up to 987, a full 9 points up from her last rating last month. And she is the obvious number one. And at this point, you have to start to wonder, could she chase that 1,000 rating? We talked about that a lot with Paige Pierce a couple years ago. And Tatar, averaging over 1,000 rating at the World Championships, maybe has an opportunity to become the first FPO player to crest that mark. It'll take a lot of work to get to that point. That brings us to our social media minute. Huge congratulations going out to Simon Lizotte and his new wife, Natalia. They got married over the weekend up in Massachusetts. Lots of pro disc golfers in attendance. And Simon was kind enough to share some beautiful photos on his Instagram. They have a young baby together and are now married. And Simon's been having his best season in years with 3 wins on the Elite Series. We'll see him back out there at the Green Mountain Championships this weekend. So let's talk about GMC. It's the start of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Playoffs. What that means is that players bring the points that they've earned over the course of the season into these next 2 events, which are now worth 125% of what a typical Elite Series are worth. You earn points at both of the GMC and the MVP Open, but the field shrinks down as we go from here. Right now, top 100 MPO players and top 50 FPO players get an automatic invite into the Green Mountain Championships. Then we go to MVP, where it's the top 72 MPO players and top 36 FPO players. And that sets us up for the Tour Championship, where it will be the top 30 getting automatic invites in an MPO, with 6 players still competing in a play-in tournament to get the final 2 spots. In FPO, will be 14 players getting an automatic invite and 6 players fighting for those last 2 spots to be in the top 16. So players still have a lot of opportunities over these next 2 tournaments in order to jockey for position, and it will all get started on Thursday. Live coverage, of course, available on the Disc Golf Network, post-produced and the usual locations. And it will be 4 rounds, 2 rounds at Brewster Ridge, the wooded course up in Smuggler's Notch, Vermont, as well as 2 rounds at Fox Run. This was the host of the 2018 World Championships, and we'll be back there for Worlds next year. So tune in for a bit of an early Worlds preview for 2023. Players will be fighting it out for those 125 points for first place. Kristen Tatar moved up to second this week with her win at Butler County. She's still behind Paige Pierce, but not by much. We may see her overtake Paige in the next DGPT standings after this weekend. Paul McBeth is number one after winning at Worlds. So the home stretch of the season begins. DGPT Playoffs, USDGC, and the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship right around the corner. And then we close things out with the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships in mid-October in Charlotte. That's going to do it for this week in disc golf, and we will see you next week to talk GMC and look ahead to the MVP Open at Maple Hill. Talk to you then.